Terence Crawford has to see Jermell Charlo next. Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's video, we will be discussing what's next for Terence Bud Crawford. But before we do that, make sure you punch that like and subscribe button, and make sure you let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the video. So Terence Crawford had a fight this Saturday against Israel Madrimov. The fight turned out exactly how I expected. I thought that Madrimov would pose some challenges for Terence, but he would be able to overcome them and pull out the victory. And that's exactly what he did. But now there's talks about what will be next for Terence Crawford. He said he wanted to go for undisputed at the 154 division. And there's also been talks about him fighting Canelo. Now, I think after seeing how he looked at 54 and the challenges that he had at that weight, I kind of think that that Canelo fight is null and void. I think it's out the window. I never really wanted that fight. I never seen the purpose of that fight, and the fight to me never made sense, except just to get Terence Crawford a big payday. But that's another video. In this video, we're discussing Jermell Lions Only Charlo, who is the true king at 154 pounds, if we're honest. Jermell Charlo was undisputed at the weight class. Nobody beat him for his belts. He was stripped of his belts. He's currently the champion in recess right now. Him and Crawford have a storyline. They have a history together. They obviously don't like each other. Terence Crawford was grabbing his genitals and talking noise to him and pointing at him during the Errol Spence fight. So we got to see this fight. He should be next. And I know a lot of people like, oh, what he bring to the table? He don't got no belts. He don't this. Listen, he's the champion in recess. So that means when he's like, hey, I'm ready to fight, he can go fight whoever it is that got that belt. He can go fight whoever it is that got that belt. Now, Terence Crawford said that after he beat Errol Spence, that Jermell Charlo would be next. And I know after the Canelo fight, he tweeted out that he no longer wanted to fight Charlo because of how he performed against Canelo. And that's really the main thing I want to cover in this video. Let's talk about that for a second. And because I want to give my 2 cents about that. There's a lot of people that believe that since Jermell Charlo went up to 168 pounds, daring to be great and fight Canelo, and he didn't perform the way people wanted him to perform. So a lot of people are trying to write off Jermell Charlo. If you ask me, people are upset because Jermell Charlo didn't go up there and get knocked out. Because if you can see, once Charlo got in that ring and he felt Canelo's power at 68, I guarantee you that changed his game plan. And it turned to him surviving in the fight and basically just trying not to get knocked out. Now, I watched that fight. I watched it a couple times. And I seen Jermell Charlo hit Canelo with some shots. He hit Canelo with some shots. Canelo just dropped his hands and kept coming forward. And I'm of the belief that Jermell Charlo hits harder than Terence Crawford. So what is Terence Crawford going to go up there and do to Canelo? But I digress. So a lot of people want to, and especially Terence Crawford, he wants to take credit for Canelo's performance at a whole different weight class as a reason why he shouldn't fight Jermell Charlo. And that's not going to cut it. That just doesn't make any sense. It's an excuse. I'm not going to say it's a duck, because we ain't in no negotiations or nobody presented the fight or nothing like that. But it's an excuse, Terence. You said you was going to fight Jermell after Earl. You need to do that. Israel Madrimov is not the king at 154. He's not the true champion at 154. It's Jermell Charlo. If you want to be the man at 154, you got to beat Jermell Charlo. That should be next for Terence Crawford. I don't want to hear people saying, oh, Charlo got to build himself back up. He went in there. He didn't fight good against Canelo. Why does Charlo have to build himself back up at 154? He didn't perform bad at 154. He went up to 68. And I think after seeing Terence Crawford at 54, that should give people a better understanding of how there's weight classes for a reason and how that weight hits a little different. Jermell Charlo didn't get to go up to 68, get 2 or 3 fights, get acclimated to the weight. No, he jumped up 2 weight classes and fought the undisputed champion in that weight class. And things played out how they played out. So don't start he didn't look good. He got to build himself back up. Nobody going to want to see that fight. It's not going to be profitable. That's not true. Tons of people are going to want to see that fight. It's weight classes for a reason. Y'all seen how Terence Crawford looked at 54. His power wasn't the same. He wasn't moving the same. He looked like he got tired in the fight. I never seen Terence Crawford get tired in a fight. And a lot of people had an issue with Terence Crawford's performance because he didn't look how he normally looked in fights. He didn't look like the Terence Crawford that we're used to seeing. And that's because it's weight classes for a reason. You go up to a weight, you got to get acclimated to a weight. You got to get used to a weight. You're not just going to jump up 2, 3 weight classes, fight the best in the weight class and beat them. Is it possible? I mean, it's boxing. Anything is possible. But we need to see the fight between Jermell and Crawford. And I believe moving forward here on out for the rest of Crawford's career, we will see him in competitive fights. I think 54 is going to be a tough division for Crawford. He's on his 4th weight class. He's a small guy. He's coming up from 35. So I think 54 will be more competitive for Terence Crawford. I don't think his power is going to hit the same. And he's going to also be taking a lot of harder punches from the other 54-pounders. I know a lot of people want to see Ennis next for Crawford, but I mean, if he's going to fight Ennis, he's going to fight Ennis. I would love to see the fight. I don't necessarily have to see the fight. But what I do need to see is Jermell Charlo against Terence Crawford. The feud they have has been going on way too long. You're finally in his weight class. You called him out. You made a big scene during the Earl Spence fight. You got to get in the ring with him, Terence. That's going to be a classic fight. So let Charlo get a tune-up because he's been out the ring for a while. And let's get the fight going. Why not? Why not? I know some people may be saying, oh, he's going to fight the winner of Spence Fundora and all this stuff. No, he needs to see Jermell Charlo. He wants to be undisputed at the division. He got to give us the fights we want to see. So let's see it, Terence. Get in there with Jermell. Stop the excuses about how he looked against Canelo, because honestly, that's irrelevant. He didn't look like that at 54. You cannot judge him on a fight from 2 weight classes up fighting an undisputed champion. It doesn't make sense. It's not fair. Jermell Charlo's still a dog. He's still going to come through 54 wrecking stuff. I'm telling you. Jermell Charlo is not out of the picture. Now, I'm not sure, sometimes you go up in weight and you come back down and that affects you and the way you fight. Hopefully that doesn't happen to Jermell because he only stayed there for 1 fight. He didn't put on too much weight. I don't think he came in at 168 in that fight. I think he was a little smaller than 168. But he did look fluffy. You know what I'm saying? He looked a little fluffy in that fight. He didn't look cut up or nothing. But I'm curious to see what moves Terence Crawford make next. I'm curious to see how he looks moving forward in the 54-pound division. And this is what I've been wanting to see from Terence Crawford. I want to see him challenged. I want to see him have to overcome some things, right? And that's exactly what we seen on Saturday night with Jermell. Now, it's a lot of people trying to make Jermell out to be this just super great fighter and he's the best at 54 and I bet nobody else at 54 can beat him. Let's stop that, y'all. Let's stop that. But that's another video. So let me know what you think about Terence Crawford fighting Jermell Charlo at the 54 division by dropping your 2 cents below in the comments. Follow me on IG at 2 Cents Boxing and follow me on X at 2 Cents 20. I'm Jay, and stay tuned for my 2 cents in the next video.